Let me know once you've started.
Yeah, I have started.
Yeah, okay, thanks. So let me share my screen. Hariom, you have to enable my screen sharing. It's showing disabled for me.
So how can I enable the screen? Yeah, Meghna, can you guide me? How can I enable your screen? Is there?
There should. Thanks, Hariom.
Yeah.
You are savior. Okay, so I think we have 25 participants already. We should start. We should get starting. So, okay, before starting, I think it is going to be a quick session today. But still, before starting, just a quick recap what we covered in last session. So, first of all, we saw what is performance testing, why we are doing performance testing. We can implement performance testing using shift left in our agile methodology, and in waterfall we can go like a traditional waterfall method, right? Then we saw what is load testing, what is stress testing, and endurance testing, right? And we saw the different phases that are covered in our performance test cycle, including gathering the NFRs and so on, right? So any doubt till now before we start for the day 2 1, because from today uh, last of the just 1 minute, okay? Yeah, last session was totally theoretical, but from today we are going to start the actual implementation, like how we generate scripts for performance testing, how we load test, how we apply logic, and so on, right? So today we are not going to rush because we are going to start a new tool, JMeter. So before that, I just wanted to know how many of y'all know or have worked on JMeter, not with respect to performance, but in the automation part also. Did you all get any chance to work? You all can either ping or just share, accordingly I can manage my session. Please start. Hariom, you've started recording, right? Am I audible?
I think he started. I can see the recording symbol.
Yeah. Okay. So a quick answer, please. JMeter, have anyone worked on it, or you all are completely new to JMeter? In chat, or you can unmute and just answer. JMeter, new to JMeter, new. Okay, fine. So majority of the guys are new to JMeter, so we are going to start from the basics. The first thing we are going to cover is we are going to see how to install JMeter, right? Then we'll see how time permits and we can go ahead, right? So the prerequisite for installing your JMeter is that you need to have Java on your machine, right? If you're not sure whether your laptop or your machine has Java, just go to your command prompt and type Java -version. If you get some reply, Java is already installed. If not, go ahead from Google and download any JDK version. The latest one is 11. It is cool JDK. You all can go and explore it, right? Assuming that you all have downloaded JMeter, next thing we are going to do is we are just going to go ahead and download JMeter from your Apache site. Now JMeter is an open source, so you can just download the library. So you just say Apache JMeter download. If you just go over here, go to this site, Apache site, and here Now these are the binaries and these are the source. Source will have all the logic of how your JMeter is developed and what features are there. We are not interested in that. We are interested in the application. So in the binaries, please go ahead and download Apache JMeter 5.3.zip. Right, so you just download this since I already have on my system. So this is how it is going to be downloaded at your particular location, whatever you select. Right, you have to unzip this, just right click and do extract files here. This is the folder which you get. Clear up till now? You have to just go to Google, you have to type Apache JMeter download. It is going to take you to the Apache site. In that, go into the binaries and download the 5.3 zip. Once you download this, you get a zip file on your system. Just extract all the files and you get this as an Apache JMeter. Very, very simple. Right, now. So we'll see this folder structure, how it works. As of now, we are just going to concentrate on executables, right? Okay. Okay, so you have to go into the bin, right? So you have multiple files. We'll see in detail when we are doing our scripting, what is the importance of each and every file. So as of now, we have downloaded our JMeter, and now I'm going to just open a JMeter instance, right? Or JMeter application or JMeter UI, right? So there are many ways to launch Apache JMeter. This is the first one where I'm going to show you how to launch a JMeter using UI. So I'm just going to double click on.
Acha, pani.
Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and double click on this Apache JMeter executable jar file, right? It takes a bit time, right? Okay, fine up till here how to launch a JMeter, right? So this is somehow how your JMeter UI is nothing but user interface. This is how your JMeter looks. You all can just browse for your simplicity what are the options. Of course, we will see max possible, which we could see, right? Just if someone is not very comfortable with the dark mode, you can always go to the Windows mode or Windows Classic. So you have in the options the types of the dark mode and the light mode or something. Okay, so anyways, that was just an additional information. I'm going to go with the dark mode. Fine. Now, this left side of your JMeter, what you are seeing, will see the elements. May I request you all to please go on mute?
Hello.
Hello. Please request people who are not talking to go on mute, please.
गलतफहमी हो जाता है तुमको समझ जाता है कि नहीं
Atyur, can you please go on mute, please? Pradeep.
Hello, Meghna.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm also wanted to verify that only. Background noise is coming very, your voice is not coming properly. Background noise is coming too much.
Yeah, okay. Pradeep and Atyur, may I please request you all to mute yourselves? Pradeep.
Yeah, done. Actually, I was on mute only, so I unmute myself to say that only.
Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, thanks. Am I audible now clearly? Or it's still an issue?
You are audible clearly.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, thanks, Pradeep. Thanks. Okay. So please, it's not that you have to remain on unmute. If on mute, if you have any doubts, please do raise hand or please unmute yourself and please feel free to ask any doubts. Okay. Okay. So we were at the left side pane. If you see this left side pane, we'll see what a test plan is. But as of now, just try to understand how it works. Right? Your left side pane is all your scripting or your request or your API calls, all the application related calls will always come on your left side pane. This side is somewhere, if you see for a test plan, it is all the configurations which you are going to make for an entire test or for a particular request. So this is going to be there. Now, this is simply a file new. Either you have to create a new, okay, before that we have to say whatever test plan or script you create in JMeter goes as a .jmx extension, right? So let me just show if I have any. Okay, so if you see all these bean shell sampler.jmx, build advanced test plane.jmx, build FTP. So these are all your JMeter scripts, right? So this new, when you do a JMX template will be created for you. This is save button. This is for the run play, whatever scripts like in Selenium or Java, you go ahead and compile and you run the application. Similarly, to run a application or to run a JMX, you have this button. Then this is to clear all the contents in the listener. This is to search if you have to search anything. This window will give you, if you see there is a time over here 000, this window is going to give you the duration of the load test. I mean, if you are still running or for how much duration you have run. This is a warning. It means that it is going to tell you if there are some errors existing or if there are any warnings which are red and you need to look into that, right? So the first major or the the first basic component of your JMX test plan, JMX script is your test plan, which is already there, right? You again have your templates. If you go here and you can select different types of templates, right? Now we are going to see a web application. So you can just go ahead and create this. Right? So if you just see, this will be created. But as of now, I do not suggest you all to do it since you all are beginners. I would request you all to do it manually so that things are very much clear. And once you are well versed with your JMeter, you can go ahead and use these shortcuts, right? So we are not going to use all these things, okay? So we have our test plan, right? Now, what we are going to do is every test plan, after test plan, there is a mandate element which has to be present, or all the request has to be grouped, and that is called as your thread group. Now, if you'll remember in last sessions, now see, you'll have to start correlating the last sessions theory to our practical. There was something I explained you all with the word of number of users, right? If you all remember the example I gave you all, first I want to launch my application only to my area, maybe 20 people. So this 20 people is nothing but number of users or number of concurrent users, the concurrency of my application, right? Now, from my area, I want to extend or deploy my application at a larger audience and maybe a city and then state and so on. So that concurrency which I was talking is this number of threads. So suppose if we have to test this application for a particular area, the number of threads, for example, should be 20, right? So we'll see this. As of now, just remember the concurrency, what we say in our performance testing is directly or is equal to your number of threads or number of users. Okay, coming to the next point, that is your ramp up period. Now, what do you mean by ramp up period is, sorry, what do you mean by ramp up period is, now see, in this online world, people do log in. Suppose it's suppose we are trying to log in into a HDFC bank, right? So suppose, let me take some names from the participant list. I see Ankit, I see Atyur. So I want these people, we three are friends, and we three say that there is a birthday party of, suppose, Dipali. So we have to transfer some amount for Dipali's surprise birthday party. So what we three of us do, we go to our mobiles or internet banking or whatever source you all have, or mobile app, APK, anything, you go and log in. But is it really possible that all the three users will be logging in into the application at the very same time, very same second, very same millisecond? No, it is not possible, right? Suppose we decide there is a possibility that I might log in at 8:1, but Atyur might log in at 8:1 10 seconds, and Afroz might be able to log in at 8:3 or 8:4. So in real world, it is very much rare that multiple users will be able to log in into the system at the same time. So in performance world, we call this as a ramp up period. So what we are trying to say, that if I have 20 users with me, for example, just let me write here, if I have 20 users with me, I want the users to gradually ramp up or log in into the application in maybe 5 seconds. Okay, so what I am saying, in 5 seconds, I want all the 20 users to be logged in. It's very much fair. Like, we have to throw a birthday party to Dipali, and I am going to say that within next 10 minutes, Arfroz, Ankit and Atyur, please transfer your money. That is very much possible, and it is a real world scenario. Just to simulate a real world scenario, we use ramp up in performance testing, where we give this parameters to the application, saying that we want to achieve a concurrency of 20 users, which would be logging in into the application in 5 seconds. So mathematically, if you say first second 4 users will be logged in, second more 4, and so on, right? Since these are small numbers, it is very much simple for us for calculations, right? Any doubt on ramp up period? You can please ping also if you have. Okay, all right. Now ramp up period. Now loop count. Now what is this loop count is, for how many times you want to iterate the request. We will see more details in when we'll try to script, but just try to understand the basic elements, right? So loop count, do you want it for infinite number of time, or do you want it to iterate for only 5 iterations or 10 iterations or just 1 iteration? So if you say that I want to iterate only for one, I mean, it's Dipali's birthday party, right? So I want only these 3 people to transfer me money only once, right? But suppose if there is some online class and you have to pay for the online class on per day basis, right? So suppose it is a week class. So what you would do, you would ask to transfer the 20 or the 3 participants which are there to transfer for 7 times. That means your online course would be transferred 7 iterations, right? So that is what it makes sense. And if you want to continue it, you can put it as infinite. If you put it as infinite, you have to specify for how much time. It is in seconds. So when I say 3600 seconds, it means for 1 hour. This is what we call as a load test scenario, which is described under your thread group. Any doubts till now? Okay, I take it as a no, right? So this is all about
So
thread
Meghna,
group. Yeah.
this 3600, that's 1 hour of time frame.
Yes.
Okay. And usually, what is the load of number of threads in the real time?
So, okay, now in the real time, as I told you, right, when we were discussing in the last session, initially I wanted to build a startup, right? So what I did, I opened a pet store and I developed a UI for that. But I was not famous, or I'm not famous. It is just a startup. So only my area people knows about it. Correct. Now what is happening in that case, the product, or in my case, I am the owner of this application. I go and hire a performance tester, right? Suppose Rupali, I am calling Rupali and saying, this is my application which I have developed. I want to get it perf tested. So what will Rupali in turn ask me? Meghna, what is the concurrency that you are expecting? What is the average load that you are expecting? So I, as the owner of the application or the product, is going to give them as a NFR, that is non-functional requirement, that Rupali, I want this application to be tested with 20 users, and the user should be able to purchase the pets online, within 5 seconds. So this is a NFR. Right. So Rupali, what she noted down. Okay. So she got the architecture with me, which we are going to discuss next. She got the details, and the main details or the main takeaway for her was that the application should be able to perform or sustain 20 users with response of 5 seconds. So that is what we are defining here. Here we are defining only with respect to concurrency. With respect to response will be in our request. Does that make sense?
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Any more doubts around this?
So Meghna, the ramp up speed means the average response time which application is taking. That is our target of 5 seconds.
No. So a ramp up period is like, if suppose let's go to a higher application. I have deployed my application to the entire Mumbai city. So there are 1,000 plus users. So you say 1,000 plus users. Now see, at a time, now since this is an automated tool, if you say 1,000 and if you say 1 second only, so what will happen? The very next second, all the 1,000 users will hit your login request of your application, which is practically and ideally not a real world scenario, right? Which I just explained, the birthday party scenario. Within 10 minutes, you all have to transfer for Dipali's birthday party. So same thing. You cannot expect all the 1,000 users hitting one application in single 1 second, right? So in that case, we are just specifying that the 1,000 users should log into your system in maybe 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and so on. This is purely, this number purely comes on the experience and the time you are spending on the application to be developed. On an average, for a banking application, if you see, it is 13 users per second. That is the ideal, ideal and practical possibility that you can ramp up 13 users in 1 second. But again, it depends on application to application. This stat, since I'm working in banking domain for long, we have derived this, these numbers, right?
Okay, thanks, Meghna.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Any more questions around this?
If loop count is 1, then do we need to specify the thread lifetime?
If Sorry, come again. If the loop count is 1,
One, then do we need to specify the thread lifetime? That is, you have specified 3
okay.
600.
That is a very good observation, and I would say a very good question. I somehow missed telling that. Okay, so since this is dark mode, you all are not able to see. So this is just like a radio button. Okay, now if you see, I have clicked on infinite. I'm not able to type here anything. I'm trying to type, right? But if I remove this checkbox, this gets enabled and I can put here. So either you can specify the loop count or you can specify the duration. There is no way that you can specify both.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now in this case, if someone has doubt, if you see there is specified thread lifetime also, and there is loop count and this one also. So a quick question to everyone. What do you expect this load scenario to run only for one iteration, or it is going to run for 1 hour? Anyone can chat or unmute themselves and
Only
okay.
one iteration.
Yeah, that's a very good answer. Yes, it is going to take one iteration because for it to jump to the duration infinite should be checked. And when this is checked, it will go to your durations tab, and then the request under the thread groups will be run for 1 hour. Make sense?
And if we do not specify the duration, although we have checked in the infinite, then it will run throughout the day.
Yes, throughout the days, weeks, months, finally your application will crash when it won't be able to take that much amount of, I mean, some of the resources eventually going to exhaust, right? We'll see what are resources, what are exhausting, what are JVM threads and those all things. But somehow your application is going to break.
Right.
Okay, I have a message. Sorry, Sonu, I did not see you that time. Which part do you want me to explain again? Are you there, Sonu? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, go on.
No, now I am understand.
Okay, cool. Okay, so this was all about thread group. Now what we are going to do, I'm not going to, just let me know when things are too much for you all to understand. We can take a break, right? We are not in rush. Okay, we are okay, right, to proceed? One more topic.
Just one question about the ramp up period.
Yeah, okay.
As you have said, the standard one is 13 user in 1 second login. But if you compare the application like Gmail, maybe 1000 user can log in the 1 second.
Yeah, that is what I told you, right? In the banking domain, the application, it depends from application to application, right? There are 1000 or maybe more than that. And I would tell you, because Gmail is operating on OAuth 2 protocol, which gives an extra level of security. Even if all the users log in, practically try to log in the same time, the request in a way they are encrypted, and your login process, if you try to log in into the Gmail, it is always you see 5 or 10 seconds you get into your Gmail page, right? That is just because the way they have designed, and it operates on OAuth 2 protocol. Even if it seems that at a particular time, at the same very instance of time, the requests are being hit, but there is always a difference of milliseconds in that, and that is how they have designed there. For heavy, even if you see stock application URLs, even they have quite heavy load, right? So those all have that kind of high infrastructures. They have that kind of I don't remember that word, just a minute. What you say, the caching one, Akamai servers and all, right? So which are locally, I mean, for maybe India, they have one server, and also all those kind of CDNs they already have in place to handle such kind of loads.
Okay,
Does
means
that
it
make
differ.
sense?
Yes, yes. Means differ application to application, right?
Yes, it will differ and it should differ. There is no standard way for in performance testing. You even if you try to compare two banking applications, maybe it your ICICI Bank or HDFC Bank, still you cannot say that fund transfer standard response time is going to be 5 seconds. No, there is no standards. Yeah, there is a benchmarking for each of the bank. Plus and minus 0.3 seconds response deviation is expected in our performance testing, right? So if your benchmark, if HDFC says that fund transfer is going to take 10 seconds, ICICI will say, ICICI will say 8 seconds, but the baseline for the banking application is suppose somewhere near about 9, still they both are acceptable. So it is all the play of baselining and benchmarking, which we are going to see before we do our load testing. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, Meghna?
so yeah, go on.
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So in real time, so application, just like you said, in while we are testing, it's giving only 6 members for 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I'll start it. Is it started? Yeah,
Yes,
pause
Meghna,
record.
it got started.
Yeah.
Thanks for making this point, Okay, so back, as of now, we are just going to keep it 1-1, right? Now, what I was saying, yeah, we have figured out our load scenario and Rupali is quite clear with her NFR requirement. Now, she and her team is going to start working. She and her team, maybe let me take 1 or 2 names. Maybe I have Kavita and Manish, right? So she shares these requirements with Kavita and Manish. Now, Kavita and Manish, come on, what was the first step in the performance testing life cycle? First was NFR requirement, right? Which we have already done. Now, Rupali is very much clear that we have to test for 20 users for 5 seconds. The next, anyone recollects the next step? Anyways, no, not a problem. So it was a test plan. Now all these 3 members are having a meeting and they are saying, let's first try to identify the tool that we are going to use, right? If they are working in a very rich company and have all the license tool, they might opt for load runner and all. But like, okay, since JMeter is a very strong tool and it's open source, they decided to identify script in JMeter, right? So first part of your test planning is already done, that you know what tool they are going to use. Then what they are designing after test plan, it is they are going to make the scripts. So that is the second point for us. We are going to start our scripting. Now, once we have thread group, since you all have newly installed your JMeter, what you have to go is go to your Internet Explorer. You have to import a JMeter certificate, JMeter certificate for it to, sorry, just give me a minute. I'll have a glass of water. Just 1 minute, please. Yeah, thanks. So for JMeter to interact with other applications, client-side certificate, you have to import, right? So that comes in your, again, just mind it, Internet Explorer and your Chrome properties combined. And if you are trying to do anything in Mozilla, you have to do the same setting for Mozilla also, right? So you go in Internet options. Go in Internet options, go in, certificates, right? Go in trusted root certification, right? Go in import, go next, go in browse. right? Now in browse, in Apache JMeter bin folder, you don't have to do anything. You have to just go to the location where you have kept your JMeter folder. Inside bin, you will find a Apache JMeter root certificate CA, right? So you have to just click this, okay? You have to go say next, you have to say next, you have to say next, okay? And you'll get the import was successful. Very first step you have to do, otherwise your JMeter won't be able to talk to your browsers, right? So this first step is done, right? I can close this. Okay, now I have to start recording. Now, what do you mean by recording? Now I have 5 minutes, right? Okay. Just go to our site. I'm just going to show you what we are going to do. It was a requirement from Meghna to Rupali saying that this is Meghna's application, right? So what Meghna is expecting, that this sign in button, which is there here, as of now, there is only one user, right? Meghna wants 20 users to perform this action. Now, what action Meghna wants 20 users to perform, that I'm showing you first, and then we'll try to code it in JMeter, right? So Meghna wants first the user to log in. Why is it like, okay. Okay, so you see your sign out, means you have, these are kind of assertions which you have to check, right? Because this, if you try to see, just let me show again that is part of your manual testing or automation. So even without sign in, you can just navigate, right? So it doesn't make sense. Meghna has made very sure that the user should be able to log in and perform the following actions. Okay, now once, suppose if there is Rupali, she wants to buy a fish, so she's going to go to fish, she's going to click the details like what types of fishes are there, she's going to click on some of the fish, she's going to add to the cart, just like you do your online shopping, you know, normal. Then you just do the quantity if you want or not. You have to just, I say as of now only one, and I'm going to say proceed to checkout. Then I'm going to say continue, right? And then I'm going to say confirm, right? And then that's it. So this is what Meghna wants 20 users to do, but within 5 seconds. Each of the page should be loaded in 5 seconds. Now, can anyone see any of the challenges over here? Is it always that all the 20 users will want only to purchase fish? No. I mean, I have many people who are fond of dogs in my area, who are fond of reptiles, who are fond of birds. So you have to make your script dynamic in such a way that 20 users randomly should be able to browse any one item from this category, should be able to add it to your cart, should be able to proceed to your cart, should be able to make a payment, and should be able to, I mean, before payment, obviously we have some confirm. Wherever banking is involved, you press confirm. So this is what Meghna wants to be tested. This requirement is very much clear with now Rupali and Kavita and the third person, right? So this is what we have to perf test. And once when 20 users have done this, we have to sign out. Very much clear with the scenario, with the NFR, what we want to test?
Yes.
Right? Sorry, I did not catch that.
It's Meghna, it's good.
Yes, Meghna, it's very clear.
Cool. So I think we shouldn't rush it. Tomorrow, same time, we will meet and we will try to script this flow. At least the flow is clear, the NFR requirement is clear. So we are very good with the first 2 steps. Tomorrow we'll do, let us just check this. Okay, so we haven't yet covered this. Fine, no issues. So tomorrow we'll try to record the traffic. Then we'll different elements. I have just shown you one element. We'll do when like simultaneously with scripting. I will try to cover this topic. We are in no rush. Please mind it. And then we'll try to complete a script whenever it will be completed, and we'll perform one load test. Okay. So as of now, I think it is too much, but please do get any doubts. Even on the WhatsApp chat, I and Ajay are available. Any kind of doubts, please reach to us. And I hope this session has helped you all.
Thank you.
Hello, Meghna.
Hello. Audible.
Now?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, actually, today is my first session. Last session, I missed it. So, where I will get the recording of that session? Do you have any location? Or how will you get it?
I think Ajay has uploaded, but I will confirm with Ajay and post it in the group. You are part of the group, right?
Yeah, the WhatsApp group you are talking about, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I am a part of that.
Yeah, sure. We will post it there. Okay?
Yeah, this recording also can you please post it over there, because in the middle, for the few minutes, my mobile got switched off.
Yeah, I think Ajay would be sharing it. Do we have Ajay on the call? No worries. I will try to